So XRP is in an interesting position right now because, as you can see, we are currently trading within this target that I set out in my previous video between $2.28 to $2.32. And this region is the Y wave target, where I'm currently tracking a WXY structure to the upside, and the Y wave target is typically a 1 to 1.236 retracement of the W wave. And that will then complete the X wave, where I'm currently tracking a bigger WXYX structure to the downside, where the Z wave target is this region here between $1.90 to $1.96. And what's interesting is on this move to the upside within the Y wave, what we had forming was a 5-wave move, where this was the wave 1, this was the wave 2, 3, 4, and 5, like so. And this 5th wave is typically a 1.236 to 1.618 retracement of the 4th wave. So using the fib tool, what you can see is XRP had the potential to reach anywhere between $2.32 to $2.35, which we ended up doing so. And if I zoom out slightly, what you can see is within this 5th wave, what we have playing out also is a 5-wave move, where this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so what I'll do very quickly is check to see if the 3rd wave met the requirement, which is a 1.618 retracement of the wave 1. And so you can see that XRP had to reach $2.30 or 32 cents, which we ended up doing. And so it looks like this 3rd wave is now complete. And then we have this 4th wave that's currently playing out right now, which is a 23.6% to 50% retracement of the 3rd wave. And so XRP could trade between $2.28 to $2.30, which we have done already. And so assuming that the 4th wave is complete, because bear in mind, we still have a little bit more room to the downside where we could actually retrace towards that 50% retracement level. But for the sake of this video, assuming that the 4th wave is complete, what we could see is a bigger move to the upside where we then break this local top at $2.33. And XRP has the potential to reach anywhere between $2.34 to $2.35. And so if I set that target, that's what I'm currently looking at for right now. And right now, you have smart money concept indicating that we have a weak high. And so the bulls still have the momentum to continue to drive the price of XRP up towards this region here. And in fact, you can see that we are slowly reaching the oversold conditions. And so the bears are slowly starting to lose that momentum. And so ideally, I'd like to see the bulls regain control of the market and drive the price of XRP up towards this region here. And for this move to not play out, the 4th wave would then need to continue to extend to the downside, where we then extend beyond the wave 1 and the wave 2 origin. So like this, essentially. And the reason being is because what we can't have in a 5-wave move is the 4th wave extending beyond the wave 2 origin. And if that's the case, then this structure is invalid. And instead, what ended up playing out was we ended up topping out at around $2.33. And then we can see that move to the downside, where then potentially can begin to track the wave Z. Now, one thing that I'm also looking at for is a bigger 5-wave move to the upside, where as opposed to a WXY structure to the upside that I'm currently tracking right now, what we could have forming is a 5-wave move, where this is the wave 1, this is wave 2, and then the wave 3 would need to reach the 1.618 retracement level at $2.37. And then we see that retracement to the downside to complete the 4th wave, and then a final 5th wave move to the upside, where we could potentially reach $2.50. And if that's the case, then it's possible that we ended up bottoming out at around $2.06. And we could see that move to the upside. And that would also mean that the WXYXZ structure that I'm tracking is invalid. And instead, what ended up playing out was a WXY structure where the Y wave extended beyond the typical requirements, which can happen from time to time. So if I'm moving over to the 4-hour chart, what you can see is we are still looking fairly bullish right now, and you can see that smart money concept is actually indicating that we have a strong glow, and we are currently trading above both the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA. And so if we continue to see a continuation to the upside, then you can see that the 50 EMA will actually end up crossing the 200 EMA at some point, which will then result in a golden cross event taking place, which will then further confirm that we are on a bullish run. Now, as far as the daily chart goes, again, you can see that we are trading above the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA, and so we are still looking bullish. Now, worst case scenario is we still tap into this region here, and even if we do so, we'll still sit above this local low at $1.60, And so we will still remain bullish. And you can see that we are within overbought conditions also. And so if the bears were to take control of the market, ideally, I'd like to see XRP find support at the 50 or 200 DMA. Even if we were to wick into this region here, I'd like to see XRP see that bounce to the upside. And again, worst case scenario, even if we tap into this region, we'll still remain bullish given the fact that we are still hovering over this local low at $1.60. And so that's my update on XRP. Hopefully you found it useful. And if you did, then feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.